1900. I can talk about the 1900s. I can talk
Mhm.
about the 1800s. What
Mhm.
have we done in the 21st century where we can say, this is ours?
Nothing.
What can we? Exactly. And so, legacy, uh, we need to somehow maintain or continue the legacy. And right now, we're in survival mode. We're in survival
Yeah.
mode because
Mhm.
all of this shit is contributing to our survival. And it's not necessary. It's not necessary at all. It's not necessary to be in a position to talk this whole bunch of rubberish, and you don't even know the woman. You don't even know the woman that you're speaking with. You don't even know the woman that you're talking to. You never seen her in life. You never even shook the woman's hand. And yet she's a 304 for what? She's a
Yeah.
whole four. Yet, okay, women make bad choices.
Yes.
I admit that. Women make bad choices. Women make fucked up choices. But at the same time,
I've made some.
the destruction that comes throughout all of this comes from who? Man. Males. Is even in your biblical text. All the destruction comes from your biblical text. If you even want to go there. You even go through Sodom and Gomorrah when
I
Noah.
agree, but will the men agree? That's the problem.
No, because again, it all goes with, we're not, society wants to ignore us and we're not being respected by our own women and blah, 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 blah. I said, well, look, if that's the case, then you need to just not even waste your time being with black women because they're going to tell you what it is.
Yeah.
Maybe you should be with that white woman that will stroke your ego and stroke what little ego that you have, and it'll be better for you. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it all depends. I mean, whatever you want to do, but you don't need to be with us because you're wasting too much time. You're wasting too much time. You're wasting too much energy. You keep pregnating our women. Even though you say she opened up her legs, yes, she opened up her legs, but guess who didn't display dick discipline? So whenever I whenever I say that, again, I'm being called a simp, a beta, this and that. And I'm like, well, what does me being a simp having to do with your failure as a person of happiness? You're a failure at happiness.
Wow.
You are a failure at happiness. I'm perfectly fine where I'm at, player. I am perfectly fine in this society. I don't know about you, but I am perfectly fine. Can you tell me the last person that you vented and you put a ring on? Well, well, okay. Um, do you know the last person that will even help you with what whatever it is that you need help with? Have you ever found a woman? Have you even spoken to a woman? No, because you just wanted to what? You saw her as a what? An instrument, a tool. Maybe I'm wrong.
Mm. I don't know. It,
I don't
it's
know.
it's it's what, like you said, it's either we're gonna have a foundation, which is legacy, which is being one way, or you're gonna listen to the Paul Pierces that got married and say like, well, I don't want marriages for old people and for poor people. And so now you're like, I don't want to be poor. I want to chase the bag. So now you get these different subset of egos that get mixed into the equation. And
Paul Pierce said that?
Oh yeah. And you know what? When I seen that, I got so mad because I I went to school for fashion design, and I was just trying to, get my footings into it. And I didn't go to New York because I got married and stayed back here in Massachusetts. But I had an internship at a custom suit place, and I actually helped design Paul Pierce tuxedo. And so
Nice.
when I heard those words come out his mouth, I'm like, was it really that bad? Or like, I don't know, like what happened, And it's just disheartening. And so when you had your experiences and then you come out here and say marriage is for poor people and old people, I really wonder what happened, because sometimes you just can't just be saying things because you think you can. People are listening. People are getting influence. Influence is so much better. I mean, it's so much stronger in society than tradition or, you know, concrete things. And yeah, so when he said that, it just was like you're just adding more fire to what's going on out here, and I'm just it's like, ugh, why did I even?
I seen Paul Pierce a couple of months ago. Um,
Mm,
dude was in his little world or whatever. But the one person that captivated me was Cam Newton. Now I've seen Cam Newton 3 times. Uh, it looked like he was with a different lady every time I seen him. But
mhm.
surprisingly, he's with the same lady. So, but he has like what 12 kids by different other women or something like that.
Oh my
I'm
word!
was like, you trying to grow a village. I was like, what is up with you? What is up with you niggas trying to grow a village? I was like,
I,
for a
I don't
single person.
know. I understand having your own children with the same woman. That's beautiful, and like you said, like that big pyramid over there. Now you building like all these divided, like I don't
Homes.
know. It's
And
it
they blame you for dividing the homes. Go
Yeah,
crazy.
it's kind of crazy, and it's so crazy. Like when even Michelle K got up there, and she was just asking black men to just stay with your families, and that's it. That's She didn't ask for anything. I didn't hear anything else. Just insinuating, hey, it's good that men stay with their families that they created children with, and that's the best outcome. But yet talking to a person that has money that thinks that money is the equalizer
Mhm.
of morality and character, like no, it's just a tool and a resource. That's all it is. And like you said, like
Yes,
that
it's a
crazy.
resource when I get tired. And when I get tired, I go to another resource.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That is the Rolling Stone basically concept, but and that child will never have 100% of you, never. And those children need 100% of us. And I experience that now. I don't even want to cry. But I want to say, going back to your making love statement, I wanted to cry then because I'm like, wow, this is just simple. It's intentional. I love it. The communication is like, wow. I said, wow, somebody communicated to me and wanted me like that. Yeah, I probably would marry them. That sounds beautiful. And I think we need more of that kindness and that cultivating that. That's what black women want. We just want the love. Our loyalty is there, but we're not getting the love. We're getting all the other stuff. And yeah, that's the disconnect. Um, but that's important. And then, the men staying with the children. And I just see my my boys going without, my daughter going without, and it makes me cry inside every day. And I'm like, well, I have no choice but to try to be there 100%, but not as trying to be a dad or masculine. No, trying to be their mom and um, still remain, feminine and still remain, stern. I don't have to be masculine. I can be stern and assertive. But when the father is not there, it's something else. It really is, and it's devastating. It's devastating, and I, I wish that men would see that now. I'm in a lot of the scenarios that are made, but you can't control another person, and all I can do is just be better. Like you said, a better communicator. Teach my children how to be good communicators. Get them busy, like you said, put them in activities and put them around other men that have a good head on their shoulders, good mentorships. That's all I can do. And all this supplementation, not that it's bad, stepdads, but I mean, that's what we have. A lot of supplementation, but back in the day, everybody was 100%. Everybody was there for their families, intentional, diligent. Now we just have supplementation, like you're not getting the real thing, and it's watered down. And I just think it's unfortunate, for a lot of homes. And,
Hmm.
so you try to be strong, and then when you hear the conversations, it, like you said, it's like it tries to zap the hope out of you. But my joy is not, or my life validation is not on social media. It really is in God, and that's what keeps me going, um, for the most part. Yeah.
You know what it says mostly about single, being single? You can concentrate on being with God a little bit more.
Yeah.
You concentrate on yourself, concentrate,
Hmm.
just getting yourself acclimated with yourself. Um, it's a good thing. It's a good thing
Absolutely.
because you've been through the experience.
Hmm.
Um, you have your kids there. Um, that's a good thing. Things will come together back together in due time. And if one door closes, another one will open.
Hmm.
You just got to have total faith in yourself, as you well know,
Hmm.
that one day the good Lord will give you someone worthy of your time and attention.
Hmm.
You just have to what you mostly have to do is, as you well know, once again, is just just learn to be by yourself. I'm sure
Yeah.
that's not a problem for you.
Oh, that's not a
Of course, it's
problem.
been of course it's been
Hmm.
it's
No,
been
when
lonely.
it first happened, when the first separation, I didn't know what to do because everything that I had, my identity was just tied up in my marriage, and my children. So when I'm at the nail salon getting my nails done, I called my godmother. I was just breaking down. She's like, "Come to my house tomorrow." I was like, "Okay." She said, "Well, what makes you happy?" And I really couldn't answer that question. My kids. She was like, "No, leave your kids out of it. What makes Stephanie happy?" Oh, I like sewing. She's like, "No." So it's like I had to dig deep and be by myself for that period of time to really know, who am I? What's my purpose? Who's Stephanie? And it was hard. It was hard. A lot of things I had to unlearn, um, and have grace with myself and forgive myself a lot. And just take that, like you said, take that time and then start moving forward. Okay. And then having those boundaries for myself, and those things that I let come in, or that I didn't see, I had to start actually being intentional and seeing those things and implementing it, and
Mhm.
and I'm in such a better place, and like that's increasing your wealth. Not everybody having access to you, because like you said, there's an energy exchange. Like I don't want everybody taking my energy, and I won't take on the energy because that's just too much. And really see who people are and how they lead in their lives, because when they come in your life, not only in my life, they're going to be in my children's proximity. So I have to be even more aware. So I'm just
Yep.
thankful where I'm at. I'm thankful that I can talk to men that have a good heart, a good head on their shoulder as yourself. And it gives me hope. And I'm not idolizing relationship. You know what I'm saying? It's a blessing, it's a privilege. I'm not going to idolize it because you can get lost in it too and get played. You play yourself. So I'm not in the play myself era. So I'm just thinking, I'm thankful for that. So while I'm doing that, I can at least encourage others on my wrongdoings and what I've learned and how I'm evolving and helping other women that are in the same situation.
Do you think that men in this society are worth it? Oh,
Ooh.
scratching. We scratching. We thinking.
You know, like you said, sometimes it's just misinformation. Now, if I can get, I have grace, okay? Like you said, I know everybody ain't 100% on it, but if I can see that you can try, or that you're giving some effort, or that what I'm communicating you're receiving, or that you can have some grip on it, I can probably try to work with that man. But if it's like this, that's that, I can't do it. And it's hard. And then more and more I'm seeing, I'm like, well, I think my pool is really small. I might have to look in the kiddie pool. That's my option. So I have accepted. I'm coming to the acceptance that if God blesses me, amen. If he doesn't, and you know, whether Kevin said me or say die alone or by myself, then I'm coming to grips that that's okay as well.
I would. I would say. I don't know. I would try to get back with my significant other first before anything, because in this crazy ass society, I don't know, because you don't know who the hell is who anymore.
Yeah,
You be looking.
that's yeah,
You
that's very
got two
true.
double chins. You got to question the double chins. You got to question. It's like, why your body looking like that? I don't know. How and all of a sudden, how many bodies do you have on you? Like, someone asked me a long time ago, if a woman had a hundred bodies on her, would you take her as a wife? I said yes, and they were. But we don't lie. You would take a woman who has 100 bodies? Yeah. It's like, why? It was like, one man's trash is another man's treasure. I can give a damn less what it. I have her, not you. I could care less what she's done in her life. Once she's equated with me, it's a wrap. I have that much confidence to have that particular conversation with that particular woman, that
Mhm,
over time she'll get it, because she's
mhm,
so used to people running over her, and she's
mhm,
also done it to herself so many times that
mhm,
she has met a guy that says, hold up, let's do something different. You've done this and you've done this. Let's
mhm.
try this and see if it fits into your vocabulary. Let's try this and see if it fits into your
Oh
influent
yeah.
brain. And she's not used to it. She's not
Mhm.
used to it. So
Oh
she has to
yeah.
get acclimated. And once she's get acclimated, then she would either trust that man or she just move on. It's like, I don't want to hurt you. I don't want to hurt you. It's like, woman, shut up and sit down before you fall down, and everything will be fine. She's right.
It's the best feeling in the world. I dated a Muslim man, and I know we were unequal right off the rip, but I liked the way he treated me. And so I gravitated towards that because that's just how he was. That's how he showed up. And it was like I put my projections on him. He said, well, aren't you worth it? And I'm like, ooh, that's a good question. Nobody ever asked me that. I'm like, are you worth it, girl? Like, yeah, you should be. Yeah, show your worth. And he treated me as such. And I'm like, there are men out there. You just have to step out of your preference sometimes. It may not look like Idris Elba, it may just be the average guy, and he will show up for you. And there are some good men just waiting for love, as Mr. Wheelock's friend was looking for love too. There are good men that you have to step outside your preference and what your type is. Sometimes it's really not in your type for real. And I was like, that was like my best lesson that I've had. I was like, wow, that's how I'm supposed to be treated. I like that. And so, but God told me He didn't want me to be with him, unfortunately. And we had some hairy moments in there. So I was like, we were really definitely unequally in that fashion. But as far as being treated as a woman, never disrespected, always high regard. And I would never take that from him. He was a good man, but he wasn't my husband. Sometimes you do date people, but they're not yours, but the treatment, excellent.
They
Excellent.
didn't put a ring. He didn't put a ring on it. You were a failure in society. You you the type of person that a man will bust down for what you say reparational reparational
Recreational use.
recreational use. You
Mhm.
use for recreational use, and by the time you get married, your eggs would have been dried up. Nobody
Oh,
wants a
yeah.
woman to be dried up.
I've heard that before. I've heard that before. I was like, why you like, might as well give it up. You just sitting on it, wasting it. I'm like, what? Like, how can you even formulate to say that out of your mouth? That's just already disrespectful anyway. Like, it's crazy. But like, even like what you said, like you said, you're spiritual, you're not religious. Oh, but I can tell just by the way you're talking. And when you said, even describing making love, it's more intimacy and the intricate parts of how it's made up in a whole. And I was crying, and I'm like, oh my goodness. And even when you were describing not too long ago, I hate that I forget when I forgot, but it was like, wow, oh yeah, 100 bodies. When you was even saying 100 bodies, like, yeah, I will still love her. I said, that's Christ-like. He said, it don't matter how dirty that we got, he still gave up his life to show that he loved us. I said, that's the most Christ-like thing I've ever heard anybody say on a panel or
If
alive.
Jesus,
And I'm just like, this guy gets it.
if
Not to say, not make an excuse like, oh, I'm gonna rack up all these bodies, but if a person if a woman meets you, if she's just been in this traumatic cycle and that she's put herself in because she was seeking love in all the wrong places and then finally find it and you've pulled her out of it, I think that's just, I don't even want to cry. I just think that's so beautiful. And the empathy
it,
towards that, I don't think a lot of men on the panels have it because they're really not acting in the mind of Christ. And that's when I can see, like, I can see it. I can see it and I can hear it. But yet they're using the scripture to say, man, woman, child, man, woman, child, but you do not even have the heart of Christ to give grace or to see in that situation. So what is it? That's all.
it didn't if it if Christ didn't accept the the prostitute dry washing the feet of Christ with her tears and drying the tears with her hair, we would not we would not accept women in society as they are now, but because of the grace and the what's the word I'm looking for? Grace, the kindness that Christ had for that woman
Yeah.
and other women alike. We should have that same empathy
Absolutely.
for it as Christ did. But since we use the Bible as a tool of destruction instead of the tool of of learning of how learning how to, and I'm not saying it's the end all be all. It's
Hmm.
inspiration.
Yes, it has to be
I'm,
inspiration.
I'm, just, I'm just saying that you can use it in ways that you know we can use the do's and don'ts and the whatever. And I'm losing train of thought. But what
Hmm.
we can do is be kind enough and give grace to the ones that obviously
Hmm.
someone with interest, we have interest in that particular person. Just because she has 100 bodies on her doesn't mean she's taken out with the garbage. I mean, somebody eventually is going to pick her up, and we haven't even been the person that picked her up. We just say, well, here you can go on with the rest of society. She can end up dead.
Hmm.
She can end up in some asylum or dead, and then you had the opportunity to put them in your safe haven. Put her in a safe haven. Treat her like a woman, and so on and so forth.
Yeah,
Have
you
her
don't have to sleep with her.
time. Have her in. Change her mindset a little bit.
Yeah, and it's like I've told, I tried to explain this. I like, there's big brothers, there's uncles, there's mentors or coaches or just a given a kind word. You don't have to. These are not women that, okay, maybe you're not sleeping with them, but you don't have to talk down them. You should uplift uplift them, or that they're your sister. Do you see them as yourself? Do you see them as your sister? Do you see them as, something like that? And that's similar to, I wouldn't sleep with her, but I wouldn't disrespect her, because when I look at her, I see my sister. I want my sister out here. So I would say, young lady, hey, go home. Or I understand if the person says, oh, get out of my face. Okay, okay, no problem. But if you're given a word of inspiration or encouragement or things like, there's nothing wrong with that. Or trying to say, hey, you shouldn't do this, or you're a young beautiful lady, you should, really, things like that. So sometimes people just need that type of encouragement or intervention, sorry, as well. It doesn't have to be uh it could be an intervention that
Oh,
leads
or
to.
get a couple of you together, and ones are intelligent or whoever, and not nothing too crazy or not
Mhm.
nobody too crazy or anybody. I mean, do what you will. Um, get with people who are carefree
Mhm.
and try to give people some encouragement, some
Mhm.
advice. I'm not saying pour out your heart to the
Mhm.
woman. Just give her a little piece of advice because eventually she's going to have to learn on her own.
Absolutely.
She's going to have to. We have our own. We I'm pour very little into people, very very little, because the rest belongs to my family. If I pour everything into you,
Mhm.
then I've drained all my energy and I don't have time for the for my loved ones. So I
Mhm.
pour in just enough for you to understand you don't have to go through what you've been through. As a matter of fact, I'll give you as much help as I possibly can. I know a person or persons who
Mhm.
help situations like this, who, if you're dealing with a mental illness or a problem, I can
Mhm.
give you a number to call. Leave the internet alone. You need to go and call this particular person and
Mhm.
see if they can help you. And it's the people that you know mostly. But of course, on the internet, we just want to say, well, it's your fault. You should have known better. You picked
Mhm.
that man. You are responsible
Mhm.
for that man. You left him for whatever reason. Blah 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 blah.
Mhm.
You've that
Yeah,
doesn't make it.
and you sometimes you don't know. Sometimes you're just acting out of what people told you, and you don't have your own mind. Um, and you have, like I said, I had to unlearn a lot of things that I thought I learned, or that I knew, and I didn't. I didn't know anything, and then like a lot of, not a lot, but there's some men that do talk. They've had a failed marriage already, so it's like you're kind of in the same boat too. So I would expect you to have a little bit more grace. I mean, I can have understanding. I can definitely put an ounce of understanding into any conversation that I do have, but sometimes there is a clear divide. You're gonna choose this day what you're gonna do. So, and what results you want. This is what's gonna get you these results over here. This is what's gonna get your results over here. You gotta choose, and that's it. There's sometimes that's just clear decisions that we have to make in our lives, and as a culture, because we've been doing it certain ways now, and it's not really getting us anywhere. So either we're gonna, like you said, we're gonna come on unity, and that
Hmm.
means one mind. I may not like it, but do you really want to sacrifice for this thing that you say you want? That's the other question.
Yep. Yep.
So don't
Yep. Yep.
propose it if you're not willing to sacrifice for it.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
That's just me.
You sacrifice for that. Were you willing to sacrifice your assets for that man and all that OnlyFans money that you collected throughout the years? Are you willing to sacrifice that money and to vent that man and to raise that man up to get what he needs to get? No, it's like, if you don't get your dependent ass away from me, like, Jesus, this is the type of shit that drains conversation, and you wonder why people just start roasting people. I just start roasting people after that. I don't need to talk to you because I talked to
Yeah,
you
it
long
gets
enough.
bad. It
I
gets
talked to you
bad.
long enough, and it goes from one end out the other. And the only thing that you understand and comprehend is if I tell you that the back of your neck look like a pack of hot dogs, and I just smack the back of,
Yeah, and
and I
that's
just don't
where other conversations always go, and then nobody's winning, and it's
left.
like you got to pull it back, but then they'll use that as, oh, this is the viral moment, and I'm like, oh,
Viral
we're never
moments.
gonna get out of here. We're never gonna get out of this hole. Okay, stop it. So
I
it is so bad, and
Because if
it's
you if you didn't listen to me then, or if you ask me some stupid ass question and I give you a stupid ass answer, and if you don't want to accept this stupid ass answer because of your stupid ass question, then what does that got to do? And it's just like I did it over Sharon's. I did it over I forgot who I was with that one day. But anyway, and then I found myself viral on Baller X. I was on Baller X, and I swear to God, I wish I could take everything back. I wish I could take everything back because I don't even like getting in controversy like that. But the
see.
boy the boy forced my hand. He forced my freaking hand. It's like this is the reason why I feel the most safest over here. I do. I feel the most
Mhm.
safest. I don't have to cuss nobody out if I don't have to. It's like, we're all cool over here. We're all cool over here.
Yeah.
Hell, you can even ask pizza. We're cool over here until somebody starts acting a damn fool. You can
Yeah, I
ask
think
Bridge.
most people want to be chill, but all the I think people are torn. I think they know the fallacies of their spaces are like red pill, or like they're
Torn,
starting to see the craziness. Yeah. You
torn,
too.
torn because of one incident they had in their life.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Torn.
they're torn because they want to get in on the, be part of the powwow. But then on the other side, they have that longing for companionship. So they hang with, relaxed people such as yourselves, or people that are men that have a sound mind or a balanced view of things. You know what I'm saying? That's not going to be just, woman centered, or things like that. And it hurts my heart. Like, I get invited, and then next thing I know, the way that the title's curtailed makes me look bad.
Mhm.
And I'm like, so what? I was like, you know what? I said, I gotta keep my value. I don't wanna get lost in the sauce, or people have this perception of me that I'm contrarian. Like, no, I like the truth, you know,
But what?
just like
But
anybody else, but like, don't use me as an expense. That's not cool. That's not what I came. I came to contribute, not to take away or tear down anything. I want to build. I want solutions just like everyone else. So when I get used in that way, I'm just like, ooh, I need to start making my own content and start helping
you see,
people.
now you see,
Hmm.
I have Bridges. You see, I give people,
I did
you
see
know,
that in the
weapons
chat.
of mass destruction over here. I say, pull the trigger. If they being disrespectful, pull the freaking trigger. I give you the trigger. I give you the guns. I give you the ammo. Go ahead and pull the trigger. She had to kick somebody out. I don't know who it was, but then again,
We
I do know
know
who.
who it was.
But we're chill over here. We have enough content creators and
Hmm.
enough channels that clearly, if we're not in alignment with their ideology, then we're an enemy, which
Essentially, yeah.
essentially it makes no sense. Over here, you're free to speak your damn mind. You're free to speak your damn mind however you please.
Hmm.
But just be respectful of others. When
I
somebody
was listening. Sorry, I was listening last night on the show. They were trying to say, "Oh, Freezy, he was pretty good. Like, he's just chill, just like you. He's like, somebody was saying like, oh, you're the new manager. He's like, what? He said, don't be trying to put that on me. He said, I don't like you, Cool. I was like, oh my god. But yeah, like,
he said
you just
coons.
well, he said some other things. I mean, it was a long 24-hour stream, but I'm telling you, he was
Does he
going
still hang
hard.
out with Anton? Do
Huh?
you know? Do you know if he still hang out with Anton?
Um, I don't think so. I haven't really seen him on the show or things like that, but he was speaking up against that as well, like how he just noticed a lot of things, and within that manosphere. But I don't think a lot of people are attaching, like those type of guys are attaching to the manosphere because everybody wants to have their own lane, and definitely they should. But there's just some things that,
That freaky boy.
yeah, there's just some things that just aren't good, because like we was talking about pearly type of things, and it's like, okay, like, I don't know, it's just too much stuff going on there. I don't like to involve myself. I like to be aware of it, but like, if you get consumed by it, then you're influenced by it. So I try not to go too deep and get polluted, but I do like to be aware of these types of guys and the messages that they're bringing in our community.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Yeah, and
don't.
then watch
Well,
if they say
you
they're
can
of God. Yeah, I
well,
watch.
you can count on others. You can count on me, and you can count on others in our little circle because,
Mhm.
just like I said, we're pretty much chill over here, and I do mostly Umar content, so people learn to stay away from me because I can either tell you the truth or I can be vicious telling you the truth because I feel
Mhm.
a lot of people come at me about a bunch of dumb shit, and it's like, dude, this is about something else. This is not about your ego. This is about something that we need, or is a message that is inspiring that you need to hear it, or it's from a
Mhm.
warning from a guy that you particularly don't want to listen to because
Mhm.
all he does is take pictures with females and males because I've introduced myself to him three other three other different times, and he's had a line of women here. He has a line of fellas there. We all take pictures. We all gather around, and we all talk about community shit. We all talk
Mhm.
about children. We all talking
Mhm.
about this. We all talk about that. The only thing
Mhm.
you want to talk about is ice cream dreams. That's not what I'm into. I just want to. If I pour in my money or my time, and if I
Mhm.
see serious work, which I have in the past, then I mean, if it doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for you. But this
Mhm.
is why I'm chill over here. I'm totally chill. I am totally
Yeah,
chill. You can, you're welcome any other time because I gotta go. You're
I
welcome
know. That's all
any.
right.
You're welcome
Oh,
anytime.
thank you.
Anytime over here.
I see you
If
dropped
you
the
have,
link. So I said, okay.
yeah. I mean, I'm usually here Sundays and Mondays. Sometimes a little bit on Saturdays, depending upon
Okay.
the mood.
All
So
right.
if you
Cool.
see me on, don't worry. I'll be in the algorithm. I'll be in the algorithm. I'll let people know when I'm on next.
All right. I'm gonna put my notifications on and so that I can. It'll let me know when you're going
So
live. But yeah.
have you have any questions for me or you good?
Um. I no. I mean, I was pretty inspired tonight. I mean, like I almost cried like 6,000 times. And good happy tears because I was like, wow, this guy is just a really nice and genuine person, and I just want to see more of that. So hopefully,
Okay.
I can see more of. But yeah, I know your content is pretty good, so I don't really have a lot of objections and things like that. But yeah, I really enjoyed myself, and just keep going, and hopefully there'll be more people. I should cam up. Oh man. The link was here. You didn't come up. Now you gotta go. Yeah, I enjoy myself. So just a different tune is really inspirational, and so I'm happy. Thank you for the fill up, as I would say,
Not a problem.
recharge.
Not a problem. Not a problem. Just I mean I tell this people all the time. If you have any issues, God is your first link. God is your first link. He's always internally within you. Go into go into a closet, go to somewhere where it's quiet, and pray away, talk away.
Yeah.
God is the way.
Yes.
we're just human flesh. You know,
Yes.
we're not perfect, but we strive for perfection.
Oh yes.
All
Sorry.
right. All right. With that being said, I got to go because my kid's screaming at me and something on the
All right.
floor, and I'm gonna have to kill him. So,
Oh, don't kill him yet. Love live one more day. One more
what's that?
day. All right. Thank you, Mr. Relock, and everybody in the chat. Thank you for having me.
Not a problem. Not a problem. And that concludes this lovely evening of the We on Rock Nation channel with Wifey Podcast, just coming up and just chopping it up with your boy. And Lisa, Bridget, and New World Order. Yeah, New World Order, we got to talk. Because I don't feel like we go just back and forth. But, Bridge, hey, thanks for everything, Lisa. I'll hit you up a little bit later. But let me get with this boy over here. I got a lot to do anything before I go. And yo, peace and love. Peace and love.